Asia is a continent shrouded in ancient secrets, but among its many nations, one stands out with a unique blend of history, culture, and spiritual legacy: the Philippines. Have you ever wondered if the origins of the Filipino people have been mentioned in the Bible? Could there be a divine connection hidden in the scriptures that ties the destiny of this archipelago to the grand biblical narrative? Prepare yourself, because what we are about to uncover may shock you. In this video, we will venture into the biblical roots that might connect the Philippines to the ancient stories of the Bible, unveiling mysteries that have remained obscured for centuries. This is not just another history lesson, this is a revelation that might just redefine the way you view the Philippines and its place in God's plan. If you thought you knew everything about this nation, think again. The Philippines, a nation of over 7,600 islands, is much more than just a picturesque paradise in Southeast Asia. It is a land rich with a diverse tapestry of cultures, languages, and histories. Yet beneath this diversity lies a deeper, almost forgotten connection to the biblical narrative. Could the ancient peoples who first settled in these islands be the descendants of figures mentioned in the Bible? Could the powerful stories of creation, survival, and divine intervention have echoes that reach all the way to this distant archipelago? The history of the Philippines is a complex web of migration, conquest, and cultural evolution. The Negritos, among the first to arrive, were followed by waves of Austronesian settlers. But what if these early inhabitants were more than just wanderers? What if they were connected to the descendants of Ham, Noah's son, as some biblical interpretations suggest? Imagine the impact of discovering that the roots of an entire nation trace back to the post-flood world, shaped by the very hands of those who survived God's great cleansing of the earth. As we peel back the layers of history, we encounter the rise of island kingdoms, the influence of animism, Hinduism, Buddhism, and eventually Islam. But then came a pivotal moment that would forever change the course of the Philippines: the arrival of the Spanish, led by Ferdinand Magellan. This marked not just the beginning of colonization, but the start of a spiritual transformation that would see the Philippines become one of the largest Christian nations in the world. But the question remains, why did this land, with its deep and varied spiritual roots, become such a significant center for Christianity? Is there something about these islands, something perhaps prophesied or foreseen, that destined them for this role? The name Philippines itself, given by the Spanish in honor of King Philip II, may hold more than just a colonial legacy. It might hint at a deeper, more profound connection to the biblical world, a connection that has been overlooked for far too long. The story of the Philippines is also a tale of resistance and resilience. From the Philippine Revolution against Spanish rule to the tumultuous years under American control, and through the dark days of Japanese occupation during World War II, the Filipino spirit has endured. Could this unyielding resilience be tied to a spiritual inheritance, a divine strength passed down through generations from ancient biblical ancestors? As we continue to explore this captivating history, consider the significance of the name Philippines, originally called Filipinas by Spanish explorers. The islands were dedicated to a prince who would become a king. But could this name, and the destiny of the nation it represents, have been part of a divine plan all along? The Bible tells us that names have power and purpose. What, then, is the true meaning behind the name Philippines? Is there a hidden message, a divine calling that the world has yet to fully understand? The ancient texts of the Bible, the rich history of the Filipino people, and the spiritual journey that has shaped this nation all point to a connection that transcends time and space. By unraveling these connections, we might discover that the Philippines is not just an archipelago lost in the vastness of the Pacific, but a nation with a destiny woven into the fabric of biblical history. Join us as we delve deeper into these mysteries, exploring the possible biblical origins of the Filipino people and the profound spiritual significance that could be hidden within the pages of Scripture. This is more than just history. This is a journey of discovery that could change everything you thought you knew about the Philippines and its place in the world. The official title, Republic of the Philippines, was established in the 1935 Constitution as the name of the future independent state and has been maintained in all subsequent constitutional revisions. The ethnic diversity in the Philippines is remarkable, influenced by both external factors and the archipelago's fragmented geography. According to the 2020 census, the largest ethnic groups in the country are the Tagalog 26%, Visayans excluding Cebuano, Hiligaynon, and Waray at 14.3%, Ilocano and Cebuano both at 8%, Hiligaynon 7.9%, Bicol 6.5%, and Waray 3.8%. In addition, the country is home to 110 indigenous ethno-linguistic groups, totaling a population of 15.56 million in 2020. Among these indigenous groups are the Igorot, Lumad, Manjin, and the indigenous peoples of Palawan. The Negritos are considered some of the earliest inhabitants of the Philippines. This aboriginal minority group of Australoid descent is a remnant of the earliest human migrations from Africa to Australia and was later displaced by other waves of migration. Ethnic Filipinos belong to several Southeast Asian ethnic groups, classified linguistically as Austronesians, speaking Malayo-Polynesian languages. Although the exact origin of the Austronesian population is uncertain, it is believed that relatives of the Taiwanese aborigines brought their languages and intermixed with the local populations. The Lumad and Sama Bajau ethnic groups have ancestral affinities with Austroasiatic-speaking peoples, such as the Tin and Mawabri of mainland Southeast Asia. Additionally, there is evidence of an expansion from eastern Indonesia and Papua New Guinea into Mindanao, detected in groups like the Blayan and in the Sangir language. Immigrants arrived in the Philippines from other parts of the Spanish Empire, especially from Spanish America. A 2016 National Geographic study revealed that the inhabitants of the Philippine archipelago have a genetic composition with the following percentages: 53% Southeast Asian and Oceanian, 36% East Asian, 5% Southern European, 3% South Asian, and 2% Native American from Latin America. Descendants of mixed couples are known as mestizos or tisoy. During the Spanish colonial period, these mestizos were primarily composed of Chinese mestizos, mestizos de sangre, Spanish mestizos, mestizos de español, and their mixtures, tornatras. Today, Chinese Filipinos are well integrated into Filipino society, with most being descendants of immigrants from Fujian. In the early 20th century, during the American colonial era, it was estimated that there were about 1.35 million pure ethnic Chinese in the Philippines, while approximately 22.8 million Filipinos, about 20% of the population, had some Chinese ancestry, whether from pre-colonial, colonial, or 20th century migrants. During the Spanish colonial period, mestizo Filipinos represented a moderate proportion of the tax-paying population, about 5%, while a smaller proportion of the population, approximately 2.333%, were Mexican Filipinos. As of 2023, nearly 300,000 American citizens live in the country, and it is estimated that up to 250,000 Amerasians, descendants of Americans and Filipinos, reside in cities like Angeles, Manila, and Olongapo. Other significant non-indigenous minorities include Indians and Arabs. Japanese Filipinos, in turn, include descendants of Christian fugitives, Kirishitan, who escaped persecution under Shogun Tokugawa Ieyasu. Filipino and English are the official languages of the country. Filipino, a standardized version of Tagalog, is primarily spoken in the Manila metropolitan area. Both Filipino and English are used in government, education, print and broadcast media, and business. Code switching between English and other local languages, especially Tagalog, is common. The Philippine Constitution allows for the optional teaching of Spanish and Arabic. Although the use of Spanish, which was a lingua franca in the late 19th century, has decreased, many Spanish loanwords are still found in Philippine languages. The biblical origin of the peoples of the Philippines can be traced to the descendants of Japheth, one of Noah's sons. Specifically, the lineage in question is the descent from Togarma, son of Gomer, who in turn is the son of Japheth. Togarma is considered the ancestral patriarch of the Filipino people, as well as other Asian and indigenous peoples of the Americas and Siberia. Additionally, Filipinos have an ancestral connection to Ham, one of Noah's sons, or more precisely, to one of the tribes descending from Ham, historically associated with peoples of darker skin. This connection to Togarma is not only a matter of genetic heritage, but is also evident in the physical characteristics of Filipinos, such as almond-shaped eyes and dark, straight hair. These features indicate an Asian origin, aligning with their descent from Togarma. It is worth noting that Togarma is recognized as one of the earliest ancestors of the Filipino people, but not the only one, suggesting a diverse ancestry that will be discussed further. The ancestry of the Filipino people is not limited solely to the lineage of Togarma, son of Gomer and grandson of Japheth. The light brown or tawny skin tone of Filipinos also suggests an influence from the tribes descending from Ham, associated with the Hamitic peoples. The genetic mix between the descendants of Togarma, who have characteristics like almond-shaped eyes and lighter skin, and the Hamitic tribes, who have features associated with darker skin tones, resulted in the diversity observed in the appearance of the Filipino people. This combination gave rise to the typical brown or tawny skin tone of many Filipinos. Additionally, the name Togarma has an etymology that can be associated with broken or pulled, relating to the characteristic almond-shaped eyes of both Togarma and his descendants. The second ancestral father of the Filipino people is undoubtedly Ham. The brown and tan skin tone of many Filipinos reflects Hamitic influence, integrating into the genetic composition of the Filipino people. Therefore, the Filipino people are the result of the blending of the lineages of Ham and Japheth, specifically Togarma and one of the Hamitic tribes. This genetic combination explains the common brown and lighter skin tone among Filipinos. In summary, the origin of Filipinos can be traced back to Japheth through Togarma and also to Ham, represented by one of the Hamitic tribes. This analysis, based on Genesis chapter 10, illustrates how these lineages contributed to the formation of the Filipino people. I hope you enjoyed the video about the biblical origin of the Filipino people. If you found it interesting, please like the video to support the channel and help with its outreach. Comment below if you have any Filipino ancestry. God bless, and see you soon.